All right, everyone, welcome back into another Prize Picks video. It is Flex Friday. Gonna give you guys some picks to go with your flex slip. Let's get into it. So yesterday, kind of a close game or close day. Joe Ryan just really pitched a gem for Devers not to get there. Jose Ramirez did have a good hitting day, just wasn't able to get to 8 for a hitting fantasy score. And then the two other props hit, at least on Prize Picks. And then on Underdog, we did fall one shot short, which was pretty unfortunate, especially because once again, this one did get bumped a little bit throughout the day. Just annoying with the WNBA props, especially for the overs, because it seems like every bet we should be doing is the unders, regardless of any projected edge that we were getting. It's just been annoying. I know that's not true. I know in the long term it's going to pay off, but man, so many of the WNBA unders seem to be the way to go. So if one gets bumped again, go ahead and bet the under. I'm kind of joking, but seriously, it's getting annoying at this point. But let's get into it. We'll start out with MLB today, looking at the best MLB props that we have going. And by the way, guys, how are you liking the new setup? It's the old setup / new setup. I'm pretty excited for it. Let's give you guys another quick look at it real quick. I mean, pretty nice. It's kind of what I was doing yesterday. Feels good to get done. But yes, get into the MLB props. So the top one that we have right now would be Giolito for over 2.5 earned runs allowed. That's about a 53% chance to hit. Unfortunately, he's only projected to get 2.3. So probably not one that we really want to be aggressively attacking. And that's going to be the theme. Literally all the top props that we're having Vegas odds wise, none of the projections are suggesting that we should be doing the over there. So that is a little bit of a worry to me there. We look at the under bet, the best under bet that we have. Same thing. Luke Weaver, his Vegas line and PrizePicks line for pitcher strikeouts is set at 4, projected to get a 5. Yes, this has a 54% chance to hit. And if you guys are someone that just does EV betting, I'm fine with that. That makes sense. And so once again, we look at some WNBA props now. Super frustrating here, like it is. So looking at this WNBA prop, we can see the Vegas line is set at 6.5, basically set at, or 16.5, basically set as a push at that as well. Projected to get 6.1. Vegas has, or PrizePicks has set at 16. It's just annoying. Like we're getting a half a point edge there as a push. Typically speaking, that'd be a good one. We're getting a full point here as well. Once again, basically a push. This is probably one we do want to be attacking, given the fact that it is being valued as a push at 20 points and not 19. So a little bit of an edge there. Basically the exact same thing here, except for the projection data is suggesting the over here. I might just start running out just separate WNBA slips and hoping that they hit. And let's further that point. Let's see if there's any game that we want to attack. Not necessarily. And I would say, guys, this, like in NBA, I love doing this strategy, kind of stacking games that are higher scoring in terms of like over fantasy points. I've tried that twice with WNBA. Oh, this game is a high scoring game and it's a close game, you know? And so far that strategy has not worked out because a game either blows out or it's not as high scoring as Vegas thought. And now real quickly, just looking at where we are getting some prop line differences for WNBA here. So Underdog, that Cheyenne Parker one, and this is what is kind of crazy about WNBA props. Like on Underdog, this is a much better bet. It's set at 15.5. The average Vegas line currently is pointing at 16.5. Now that is stuff that can update throughout the day. WNBA lines do update kind of drastically throughout the day, but it's just kind of interesting in that regard. So I guess some other ones that we have. Another one here. So 11.5 for Courtney here, minus 135, which would be about a 54% chance to hit. Underdog has it set at 11. PrizePicks dropped it down a full point. We do the same thing here now. Like that's just the issue that we have right now, is that some discrepancies across the board really is the biggest issue. So real quickly, let's go ahead and get back into MLB. I do want to call out, there is this game that we probably want to be attacking, Cincy versus the Braves, Atlanta Braves there. 11 for an over and under is pretty high. And then we also have this game as well, the Rockies versus the Angels. Two games that, you know, we probably want to be attacking. And then tomorrow, whoo-wee, that is crazy. 14.5 for the over and under. Yeah, we probably want to be attacking that one tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, I might not have a morning video. I'm going to a wedding tonight, so probably not going to be available tomorrow morning unless I do one early on in the morning in the hotel, which I'm not opposed to. It really just depends on how much fun I have tonight. But yes, those are kind of clearly the two games we want to be attacking in terms of like hitting fantasy scores. So let's go ahead and see if we have any good hitting fantasy scores coming from those two games. So hitting fantasy score, there we go. And right now we got Matt Olson, our boy Matt Olson, our favorite player, Matt Olson, in that game. We can attack it. Let's go. Kind of joking, but yes, because we know Matt Olson has been super frustrating. But I do think that is going to be a good prop. That's probably going to be one that we want to chase. And then we got Jonathan there as well, kind of in that same game. We could go ahead and attack with that. I don't mind that idea. So let's just take a look at that further in that high scoring game. And yes, I like this actually a decent amount. he has been struggling the last 3 games after coming off of a really good hitting stretch. Okay. A little bit of steal upside as well. Not too much, but given the fact that this is going to be a higher scoring game, projected to be a higher scoring game, I do like the over here for him. And then our boy Matt Olson, joking now, biggest letdown for us. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried given the fact that, 3 of the past 4 games he's been able to get the over. The Colorado series was a high scoring one as well. Supposed to be high scoring here as well. I don't mind pairing these two together. There's a little bit of a stacking nature there. Let's go and take a peek at the other Atlanta hitting fantasy score props that we can get. Acuna, probably a little bit too high there. And that's the only one that we're getting. And that's kind of the issue is that, PrizePicks is smart with these. They're not going to be throwing out too many. De La Cruz probably not touching as well. So we can see the 2 best ones that we're going to get are those 2. Okay. And then I don't believe we're getting any of that late night hammer game that we would want to be on. That is something that I hope we get though throughout the night. So definitely something to be pay attention. We got Mike Trout in there. That's about it. 9.5 is a lot though. Then if you wanted to, like Will Benson, maybe like a part of that game, but not loving that one entirely. Oh, another one here with AJ. I like this one. Okay. So pitcher strikeouts 4.5. Okay. Projected to get 5.5. Let's pull him up. So we used him in the last game, and the kind of interesting thing about the last game was that was a start for him. Okay. I know this doesn't correlate too well, but he's going to be starting, and if he gets 6 innings or so, if that run total is wrong, then I don't mind that. There's a way in which you could it's kind of a hedge. I don't really like doing it. I'd rather go with what Vegas thinks is going to happen in this game, which is us just kind of trusting the run total. But even if he gives up 5 runs, he can still give us 5 strikeouts. He can still pitch 6 innings or so. It's just, when does that occur? If the runs occur in the 5th inning, yeah, he probably will get pulled. If they occur in the 1st and 2nd, you never know. He can keep pitching because, well, it's kind of a loss at that point anyway. So yeah, it's tough. It's just, man, we haven't had the props that we would be wanting as much lately. Literally since NBA, we have noticed the MLB board be extremely tight. Let's go ahead and get into some PGA props. All right, so now Keegan Bradley here, in terms of stroke props, he is someone that multiple times has kind of had the first round lead, which is almost what he had yesterday, and then just completely struggle in round 2. That could happen again today. That's kind of what we're seeing. And I actually don't mind the idea of betting the over on Underdog. Obviously, this video is going to be much more of a PrizePicks video because we have the free bet, the Flex Friday bet available today. So we want to attack that way. But let's look at another few kind of discrepancies that we have here. If we look at Underdog, like 5.5 birdies, 6 birdies in a round is quite a lot. And we have that line set for Cantlay and Xander. I would say for Keegan, if you are going to make that bet, the strokes bet, I would actually make it here. Because if he's not making 5 birdies, it's tough to imagine him shooting that low of a round. So that'd be the route that I would go. And then just getting 6 birdies is a lot. I know Patrick Cantlay made a bunch of birdies yesterday, so you could bet the lower there. And then Xander Schauffele as well. He is someone that I actually think could get there, just given the fact that there are so many putts that tickled the hole, if you will, just like could have dropped it and just didn't, but not terrible. And let's just sort by edge on both sides here real quick. It is suggesting Patrick Cantlay for over. This would be 4 under par. I don't know if I particularly trust that. If we look at the live event average, it did play kind of as expected, but there's just a ton of birdies to be made. And let's flip it around. Nothing there Underdog wise. Let's go to PrizePicks. Any edges there? Yeah, you could roll with these. I don't want to. I guess like Max Homo is someone that I kind of thought would struggle in round 1. I had a good round 1 day. Let's just put it that way. And with that, I don't want to use the same players again because chances are they're going to have a better round 2. That's kind of my biggest worry. If anything, I would want to chase some of these like fairway hit props where the live prop average for this tournament was about 8.6. Xander hit 8. That'd be one I wouldn't mind. And actually, while we're on Xander really didn't make any GERs that much yesterday. I kind of expect him to have a better GER day as well. I know they're suggesting the under, and that's kind of my biggest problem with PGA today is that a lot of the bets that I would be on personally, the data doesn't necessarily agree with, and I don't like to go away from the data too much. That's my biggest issue. But if you want to pair these like over fairway hit props, I don't mind that. Hideki hit 10 yesterday. Max Homa hit 9. Wyndham Clark hit 9. I do expect Xander to be able to get there. So those are some props that you could potentially roll with. And then Wyndham Clark as well, like GER, if you think he's going to have a better day, GER. Harris English fell 1 short. Like there are some okay ones. It just feels like we're forcing bets, honestly. And obviously it's a Flex Friday. We want to do that, but that's just what it feels like today. And I wish I could give you guys some, yes, these are the best bets that we want to go on. These are the Flex Friday slips that we want to be putting out there. we don't have it, unfortunately. I was really hoping that we would get some pitching fantasy score props before I finish this video. We're not, unfortunately, as well. So let's go ahead and get to the bet of the day. So if it wasn't Matt Olson, I'd feel very comfortable about him being able to get that over hitting fantasy score. But obviously, these are kind of the two best ones I see on the board today. They're popping up for the hitting fantasy score props, and it's a game that we want to chase. I'm going to attempt to give you guys a Flex Friday slip, although it's going to be ugly. Fair warning. Like it's just that's today, at least right now. All right, and this would be kind of the Flex Friday slip that I'm looking at, tossing in what I view as my favorite PGA props, although they are much tighter than I would like, and then a pitching based prop where he is projected to get over this, -124 to get the over, which is about a 52-ish% chance to hit. Literally the best one I could find. It is a tight day. Kind of is what it is, right? We get a free entry, can use it in this way. But that's all for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give a like and subscribe. Let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cashing.